Welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. You know, we've had a lot of close encounters over the years, and this week we thought it'd be fun to go back and look at a few of the great hunts that we've had over the years. You know, one of the most commonly asked questions that we get at HECS is how well does that suit work on game birds? Well, from turkeys to ducks to geese, HECS continues to impress and astound HECS users every day. In this episode, we're going to show you some of the archive footage that we've captured over the years using the HECS technology, and you can make the determination for yourself. With waterfowl hunting becoming ever more popular and gobbling turkeys being the highlight of the spring hunting season, you're going to want to pay special attention to today's show. So sit back and relax and come hunting with us at Hunting with HECS.
Hunting is about getting close, really close. Get closer than you ever thought was possible. We showcase the science of getting close. Right here on Hunting with HECS. Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery, Ozonics, Undetectable, Undeniable, Gold Tip, the toughest arrow you'll ever shoot, Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, we call the game, Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products, Trophy Taker, UC Hunting Properties, and HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
We've shown plenty of turkey encounters in previous episodes, so I thought this week we'd start with some waterfowl hunting. My daughter Caitlin, my dad Bob, and I all traveled out to Western Oregon to hunt with Columbia River Decoy and Guide Service. We were after hard-hunted geese on this trip. These geese are super wary and they've been hunted for over 3 months, so I was excited to see what HECS could do.
They set the decoys up before daylight in a heavily used feeding area. And even before they were ready, they had birds flying in the area.
All right, well, we're pushing the envelope a bit on this goose hunting. We actually have 6 live geese sitting in these decoys right now, and as you can see, I'm right in the open, but so far so good. This has been pretty cool.
Since the crew is not allowed to hunt until 8 a.m., Mike decides to push his HECS suit to the limit and crawl across the open grass to see how close he can get to the geese feeding in the decoy spread. This goose can see Mike moving, but without the electrical field, he appears more like an inanimate object.
That was a lot of fun. We wanted to test and see what the HECS would do with geese. You know what we've seen with turkeys. Obviously we had those geese. First off, they lit with me sitting out in the open. I decided to just see what we could do, so I crawled all the way out. I was probably 3 or 4 feet from that goose. My goal was to actually grab him, but he didn't let me get quite that close. We're going to sit back up, and the next ones that come in, we're going to knock some feathers out of. All right.
Guns clear?
There we go. Guns clear.
Guns clear.
That's cool. Well, here's the end of our first morning with Columbia River Decoying Guides, and God, it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Good shoot. Got some good footage of the suit working good. This is a very nice place we got here in the valley. This is about a 500-acre farm, perennial ryegrass field. We've had about 3,000 birds in here over the last couple days. It's been a great day having you guys here, being able to see all these birds grind on top of us and and let the suit work. And we appreciate you guys coming out hunting with us.
I'm Forrest Galante, wildlife biologist, and today I'll be demonstrating how the HECS technology works by using an instrument that is designed to measure the human energy output. This tri-field meter specifically picks up on low-frequency currents, such as those produced by muscle movement. HECS technology has utilized the Faraday cage principle to block the body's naturally occurring electrical energy. A Faraday cage is a grid of conductive material. When energy strikes the surface of that material, it is transmitted and dispersed, preventing energy from passing through. The electrons are stabilized and held in capacity. This is the same technology that exists at home in your microwave door and prevents you from harmful radiation. HECS has woven a conductive carbon yarn grid into a comfortable, wearable fabric. Now when I come over here to the tri-field meter, you can see as I wave my arm over it, the meter picks up on my electrical energy signal. If I were to cover the meter with a regular camouflage material, it actually does absolutely nothing to insulate against that energy signal. However, when I replace that with the original HECS camouflage material, you can see the energy signal is now completely held at capacity and the meter is unable to detect me. HECS also makes an extremely comfortable new base layer, which of course also has in it the conductive carbon yarn HECS technology. When putting that over the meter, once again, I am now completely imperceivable electrically. What you have seen here is the Faraday cage principle in action. This technology is found in all of our HECS products. That includes our HECS underwater range. Being able to interact with both marine and terrestrial life without them perceiving your electrical energy signal allows you amazing up-close personal interaction and leaves a smaller footprint on the environment. Whether you're a photographer, a hunter, a scientist, a conservationist, or just a general outdoor enthusiast, HECS technology is the perfect technology for you. It allows you to get closer and have more natural, organic interactions with animals.
If you order right now and use the promo code PURSUIT, you can save an instant $30 on your HECS suit. Don't you crawl away. There's a lot more action coming up right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. Before the break, you watched as Mike pushed the limits of his HECS suit and crawled to within 3 feet of a wild cackler goose. Then, sitting in the open, Mike and the crew had a great morning of shooting. Now, let's join the crew as they head to California for some spring turkey hunting.
Last spring, HECS CEO Scott Eastman and I traveled to California to do a little turkey hunting. This trip turned out to be one of the most exciting trips we've ever had. The first morning, we sat up across the small draw across from some gobbling turkeys. Once they flew down, we didn't know where they'd went until we caught some movement off to our left. It turned out to be a young tom, and he had his eye on our decoys. But in this hard-hunted area, he was being super wary. Well, Scott and I were employing our new favorite turkey hunting tactic. We were sitting right out in the open, just out on chairs, in plain view. I know this looks like an impossible scenario to a lot of you turkey hunters, but we had our HECS suits on. The HECS suits are blocking our electrical signature. It's one of the things that turkeys key in on to tell what's living and what's not. To this turkey, we're an inanimate object. He looked over the area for a few minutes and then committed and came on into the decoys. Normally, I would have let a young bird like this walk, but he was putting on such a great show at only 15 yards from 2 guys sitting right out in the open. So finally, I decided to wait till he was facing right towards us, and I went ahead and got the full draw just to see what his reaction would be. As you could see, he didn't seem to care at all. How you like that?
Holy smokes, man, that was cool.
You know, that was just too good to pass up. What an experience. It is so cool. being that close and able to come to full draw even when they're looking at you. We're in the wide open. You can't fake that stuff, guys. You just can't.
Man, when he put on that show and he was facing directly to us, and I thought, you know what, if I'm going to show guys what HECS is all about, I'm going to come to full draw. I've done it enough. I knew I was going to get away with it. And sure enough, he stood there and the arrow hit him just right there, and he just went just barely over the hill here, and he piled up.
And now it's time for this week's HECS Closeup.
This week's HECS Closeup comes from Doug McDonough from Wisconsin. Doug has hunted deer for 30 years and he knows a thing or two about deer hunting and deer behavior. This year, after seeing HECS in action on the show and the numerous YouTube videos, he decided to order a suit right before his annual archery hunt. Doug was skeptical as he put on his suit and headed out to his stand. But his skepticism didn't last long as he passed does feeding in the field at 30 yards, and they stayed right there as he walked on by. Over the course of the next several days, Doug had more deer than ever under his tree, and even when they saw him move, they seemed more curious than afraid, and often approached closer. Doug was able to take this great Wisconsin buck even after it spotted him turning around in his stand. Doug credits the HECS suit to his success, and he tells us that he won't hunt without it. Thanks again to Doug McDonough for submitting this week's HECS Closeup. Welcome to HECS World Headquarters here in John Day, Oregon. You know, this is where we do all the warehousing, shipping, order entry. When you order your HECS suit, this is where you're calling. You know, we've been in business since 2010. And since that time, we've grown by leaps and bounds every year. HECS is all about blocking the electrical fields that our bodies create. Through heart rate and muscle movement, our bodies create electrical fields. They travel distance, and it's known now that animals, birds, and fish pick up on these, and it's one of the ways that they tell a living object from an inanimate object. HECS does not make you invisible, but by blocking the electrical fields, it does take away one of the advantages that animals have when they get in close. You know, you still have to use all the proven hunting tactics, pay attention to the wind, be quiet, limit movement. But by blocking the electrical field, it does give you an advantage that you can't get any other way. HECS technology lives within the grid pattern that you see in all HECS fabrics. This highly electrically conductive carbon yarn is woven in an interlocking grid pattern and designed to block the electrical signals that come out of our body. They're actually caught up in the grid, held in capacitance, and exit the suit every time you touch ground. We've incorporated HECS technology into a variety of fabrics. Our original hunting suit is an extremely lightweight fabric that's made to be worn under, over, or all by itself. It's a very versatile item and you can use it in just about any hunting situation. Also, for those of you that want something that's a little bit warmer, we have our base layer. It's a semi-thermal that has HECS technology woven right in. It's made to be worn under your regular hunting clothes and it'll give you that HECS advantage out in the hunting woods. We also have a full line for the aquatic market as well. You know, the most common question that we get is, does that stuff really work? Well, I'm here to tell you, yeah, HECS is for real. You know, we get letters, phone calls, emails, and videos from people all around the world that have seen the HECS advantage and put it to work, and they're having more success out in the field than they ever did before. HECS is real technology. It's backed up by 5 issued patents, and you deserve to put HECS in your arsenal today. Give us a call or go online. Get a HECS suit on the way. You won't be sorry. As we always say, it's going to change the way you hunt.
If you order right now and use the promo code PURSUIT, you can save an instant $30 on your HECS suit. Don't move. We'll be back right after this. When we last saw Mike Slinkard and Scott Eastman, they had just called a turkey to 15 yards, where Mike was able to draw in full view of the bird and make a great shot. Now, we catch up to the guys hunting a ridgetop during the midday lull. They have a couple of birds answering and have made a quick setup only 12 yards from the decoys.
All right, we're set up here. A little warm out, but I got first shot on this one. So here's some birds off in the distance, hoping to get them in.
I know this seems impossible, but when the first tom strutted into view, he didn't slow down a bit. He walked a circle around the decoys, passing right in front of Scott and I. The second bird was coming a bit further out, about 25 yards, just off camera. When the tom turned, Scott couldn't take the suspense any longer, and he drew his bow. I decided to draw my bow as well and try for the tom that was just off camera.
Yes. Oh. Almost got a double too.
I couldn't see.
Stayed way out.
I knew you shot at him. I was watching my bird down here.
No, I'm glad you were. Good shot.
Oh, man.
I missed by that much, just to the right.
Man, what a neat experience. And again, just exactly what we talk about every year with HECS. I mean, we quit hunting in a blind completely, and for us it adds to it. You know, we started out being kind of a demonstration of what you can do, but it's a lot of fun.
It really is, and just like Mike said, we started out just to kind of demonstrate what you can get away with the suits on, but I got to be honest with you, there are advantages too. We're not all brushed up. We don't have stuff in our way. We have clear shooting lanes, obviously.
Yep, nice comfortable chair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, some people look at it and think it's kind of silly, and obviously we're doing it to show people that, you know, you can get away with a lot more, but I got to be honest with you, it's more exciting.
The original HECS suit is very lightweight, breathable, and versatile enough to be used in almost any hunting situation. It comes complete with pants, shirt, and head cover, and is available in either Mossy Oak Country or Realtree Extra Camo. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester base cloth. This grid blocks your body's electrical field. The suit is designed to be worn under your regular camo or over the top as an outer layer. The technology is effective either way. The pants are cut similar to sweatpants, with an elastic waistband, adjustable drawstring, elastic cuffs on the bottom, side pockets, and a convenient fly. The pullover shirt features thumb holes, serge stitching, and an embroidered logo. The head cover has a laser-cut eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, made entirely of HECS material and is very lightweight and comfortable. The gloves are made of a lightweight, stretchy material in Mossy Oak camo with the HECS technology woven in. The socks are a heavyweight over-the-calf sock and have the conductive HECS grid woven into the material. Order right now and use the promo code PURSUIT to save an instant $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. You can find out more about our complete line of clothing and accessories on our website at HECSLLC.com. The encounters keep getting closer, and when we get back, it gets even crazier. Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery, Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable, Gold Tip, the toughest arrow you'll ever shoot. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, we call the game. Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products. Trophy Taker, UC Hunting Properties, and HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment. So far, we've seen HECS at work on northwestern turkey and waterfowl. Now, let's head to Texas to try the HECS suits on some hard-hunted Rio Grandes.
On this next hunt, I'm with my good friend Brad Golke down in Texas. I won the toss to be first shooter, so Brad was on the camera. We'd roosted some birds the night before, so we got set up, and it wasn't long before we had birds on the way. These birds are close, and we're both setting in the wide open. At 10 yards and fully outfitted in HECS, I drew my bow with full confidence that they wouldn't react. and it worked perfectly. Well, my turkey went about 50 yards and tipped over, but the other two toms were still totally unaware of our presence, even after I'd drawn my bow and shot one. Well, Brad had brought his bow along, so we quickly made a plan for him to try to take the second turkey. For this to work, I was going to have to get down out of my chair. Brad was going to have to load his bow and stand up. Now keep in mind, Brad is 6'4", and he had to stand completely up behind the camera to make this work. But as you can see, wearing the HECS suit, it just wasn't a problem. Awesome deal.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that bird's hit hard too. Wow. Oh man, I tell you. Now that is what HECS is all about right there now. Every spring, I look forward to coming out here. You guys have a lot of birds and you got a lot of really nice birds, and you know, last year we did great, but this year, I think we overdid ourselves. Getting a double with a bow and arrow, all that movement, and we didn't have a bird bust, period.
The newest addition is our base layer. The base layer is a lightweight, semi-thermal material designed to be worn under your regular hunting clothing when you need just a little bit of extra insulation. It features the patented HECS technology woven right into the material. The suit comes in 3 pieces: pants, shirt, and head cover. The shirt is a quarter-zip Henley with serge stitching, embroidered HECS logo, and thumb holes. The form-fitting pants have serge stitching throughout, and an elastic waistband and cuff ensure they stay in place. They also feature a convenient fly. The head cover has a laser-cut eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, gloves, and our new heavyweight over-the-calf sock. Order the HECS base layer right now and use the promo code PURSUIT to save an instant $30 on your order of a complete HECS suit. You can find out more about our complete line of clothing and accessories on our website at HECSLLC.com. If you have a HECS success story, we'd love to hear from you. If we use it on the air, you'll be in the running to win an exciting hunting trip with the HECS crew. You can find out more on our website at HECSLLC.com. While you're online, make sure to take a minute and check us out on our social media sites as well.